We are the creators of our own lives. The other day, I had one of those conversations where everything revolves around illnesses and problems. A long stream of fears, drama, and catastrophes. And in the end, they told me that I was the only one who was looking fantastic. I won't deny the obvious. But this hasn't always been the case. I'm referring to this positive attitude of constant growth that you always see on my channel. I come from an environment where drama was the main language, where things simply happen to you, where everything is difficult, impossible, dangerous, and those who get what they want just get lucky. So, during that call, I understood that, to them, if I'm doing great, it's because I'm lucky. You only have to look at my channel to see that none of this is luck. It's a matter of perspective, of taking action, and of stepping out of the victim role to become your own hero. That's why today I want to share 4 things I did, and still do, to become my own Lara Croft. We all desire things we don't have, or things we lost. Garden, a sofa, more money, a partner who loves us, a cat. Things happen to all of us. We all have difficulties, worries, and fears. Life, like any adventure, involves facing challenges. But living in fear paralyzes us. Constantly thinking about the negative puts us in a state of permanent stress. Cortisol spikes, your body and mind get exhausted, they can even get sick, and everything seems to spiral downwards. Now, this isn't about ignoring what's happening, but about changing the focus. Let me show you with my own life. I've lost everything. The house in the mountains, my things, my partner. I'm never going to have a home of my own. Everything always goes wrong for me. Here I am, at my age, sharing a flat in a city, with no income, not knowing what's going to happen, and terrified by the ghost of my past life. I spend all day working on things that I don't even know will matter. I'll never achieve anything. I can't eat a pistachio croissant because it's expensive and fattening. I'm sure I'll end up alone for the rest of my life. How sweet is my roommate? She brought me a beautiful mug today just because. I've been so lucky to be able to come here and have a warm, comfortable place with company where I can rebuild my life. And I have a kitten again. I am grateful for the travels, the people I've met, and everything I've learned and continue to learn. I take care of my body, even when I eat a sweet treat, because chocolate feeds my soul. And I trust that my creativity will lead me to build my own business that will allow me to buy the little dream cottage in the northern mountains. See? It's the same situation and the same life, but the story you tell yourself is not. As absurd as it may seem, gratitude is a superpower. Changing your perspective relaxes your body, which in turn changes your energy, and therefore changes your life. It's not about denying what isn't right, but about amplifying what is. There is nothing like getting together with people who share your craziness and think the world is full of possibilities. People who believe in you even more than you do. People with whom you know you could conquer the world because they raise your energy so much that you feel like a rocket about to take off after hanging out with them. People who see solutions to problems and give unconditional love in difficult situations. People who help you get up when you fall, dust you off, and push you forward again. Those you can trust because you know they tell you the truth, even if it hurts. And as soon as you fall back into your old patterns, they give you the reality check you need to realize it. And I'm not just talking about lifelong friends. because some of us don't have those. My true friendships came later in life, once I accepted who I am completely and opened myself up to proclaim it to the world. I'm also talking about those people you cross paths with temporarily, maybe on a trip or at a cafe, in a few fleeting minutes. Yet, they give you a life lesson you will never forget. Not everyone comes into your life to stay physically forever, but they do stay in the mark they leave behind. I try to surround myself only with people who recharge me. Obviously, there are times where you can't avoid those people who drain you, but if I can choose, I try to do it when my energy levels are very high. And if not, I just get up and go hide in the bathroom for a bit. Watch the energy you surround yourself with, and you'll see how you start moving differently. If you're new here, my dragons is what I call my mind when it tries to convince me that everything is wrong. Sometimes it screams so loud that it feels like those dragons, which in my imagination are two, are burning everything down on the inside. I'm sure you know perfectly well the feeling I'm talking about. I am completely convinced that if I manage to tame them, I can redirect their strength and intensity in my favor and turn them into a powerful engine. In practice, I've discovered that the first thing to do is quiet the mind, and once we achieve that, make them understand that we are safe, that they don't need to keep burning bridges, because what we want is to build them. Each of us has a different method, and it's a matter of testing until you find the one that works best for you. Right now, what's working best for me is running. I had never been a big fan of it, and trust me, I had to do it to get into the police force. But this time, I've managed to connect with that strange pleasure of the moment when the mind is so worried about keeping my body breathing and functioning that it can't think, and it shuts up. And that is when ideas flow, gratitude overwhelms me, and I can tell myself that everything is going to be okay. I can pet my dragons. I know not all of us deal with our minds in the same way. And since I've been really into astrology lately, I thought it might help you to know that each sign finds it easier to regulate themselves in one way or another. If you're curious about the topic, I'll leave a very brief free guide with ideas according to your zodiac sign in the link in the description, just for fun, in English and Spanish. Let me know if it resonates. The only way to grow and achieve what you want is by feeling uncomfortable. This is an irrefutable truth. No matter how intensely you give thanks for what you have, surround yourself with the most wonderful people, and tame your dragons. If you don't take action by trying to do the things that scare you, you won't move forward. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't mean you have to buy a ticket and go to Bali for 5 months like I did. Maybe today your challenge is to publish a post on Instagram, run 5 minutes more than usual, go have a coffee alone on a Sunday when everyone else goes with someone, or tell a complete stranger that you like her sweater. Imagine that your dream is to be a writer and have your book sold in bookstores. For that, you will not only have to sit down every day to write, but you will have to let people read your writing, see how they react, start accepting negative comments. And there will come a point where you possibly will have to show yourself on camera, knock on publishing house doors, and face the rejections that always come when you start something. The fear is there. Our self-imposed limits are there, but they can be broken. I am afraid every day, but I try to do something, even if it's very small, that leads me to that person who can achieve what she wants. The first time you face a specific fear is scary, but I assure you that by the 5th time, it feels natural. That is when your comfort zone has already expanded, and you are ready for the next round. There is no magic solution that opens the doors we want, nor ancestral remedies that prevent us from having to go through moments that aren't pleasant. But we can take the reins of our story, become our own hero, fight our dragons, gather allies, and that way, when we look back, we will see that we are already very far from the person we once were. Looking fantastic? Yes, but not because of luck. Tell me in the comments if any of this resonated with you. Sending you lots of love, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.